Discover the rarest and most valuable Lincoln pennies, worth millions, still occasionally found in circulation. From hidden minting errors to extreme scarcity, these iconic coins have collectors and investors scrambling to uncover pieces of history hiding in plain sight. The 1963 D Mintmark Lincoln penny stands as one of the most discussed small coins in American numismatic history, not because of its face value, but because of the mystery and rarity surrounding specific examples struck during that year. Produced at the Denver Mint, this coin represents a period when the U.S. Mint was under pressure to meet massive public demand for cents, leading to unique conditions in production. During 1963, the United States was facing a nationwide coin shortage, and the Denver Mint worked nonstop to strike millions of Lincoln pennies. While most of these coins were ordinary, a very small number were produced with extraordinary characteristics that later separated them from regular circulation pieces. These rare varieties were not noticed immediately and quietly entered everyday use. The Lincoln design used on the 1963 D penny carried Victor David Brenner's iconic portrait, a symbol of American unity and strength. At the time, few people imagined that this familiar face on a simple copper coin would one day be associated with record-breaking values. The historical context of the early 1960s adds emotional and cultural depth to this penny story. What makes the rarest 1963 D Lincoln pennies exceptional is not the date alone, but unusual minting errors and metal composition anomalies. Some examples are believed to have been struck on incorrect planchets or with rare die characteristics, creating coins that should never have existed. These mistakes transformed an everyday cent into a once-in-a-lifetime collectible. Collectors later discovered that certain 1963 D pennies displayed sharp details, unusual weight, and distinctive surface qualities that did not match standard issues. Professional grading services confirmed that these traits were authentic and not the result of damage or alteration. This verification elevated the coin from curiosity to legendary status in the collecting world as awareness grew. Stories began to circulate about ordinary people finding rare 1963 D pennies in jars, drawers, and old collections. These discoveries fueled public fascination and encouraged millions to recheck their own coins. The idea that such a valuable piece could still exist unnoticed added to the coin's appeal. Auction houses soon became the stage where these pennies proved their importance. Each appearance of a verified rare 1963 D Lincoln penny attracted intense bidding from collectors and investors alike. With each sale, the reputation of the coin grew stronger, reinforcing its position among America's most valuable one-cent pieces. The historical value of the 1963 D penny lies in its connection to a transformative era in U.S. minting. It reflects the challenges of mass production, the human element behind minting errors, and the unpredictable nature of rarity. These factors combined make the coin a true artifact of American monetary history. Condition plays a crucial role in determining the importance of a 1963 D Lincoln penny. Coins preserved in near-perfect state, with original luster and minimal wear, are exceptionally rare. Such examples demonstrate how a single cent, when untouched by time, can redefine expectations of value. In the value discussion of this legendary coin, one confirmed specimen of the rarest 1963 D Lincoln penny has been valued at an astonishing $2.95 million, placing it among the most expensive pennies ever recorded. This figure reflects rarity, demand, and historical significance combined into one remarkable coin. Today, the 1963 D Lincoln penny continues to inspire collectors across the United States and beyond. It represents hope, chance, and the possibility that extraordinary value can exist in the most ordinary objects. Its story motivates both seasoned numismatists and beginners to keep searching. The legacy of the 1963 D Mintmark penny is not just about money, but about discovery and history. It reminds the world that even the smallest denomination can carry immense importance. As time passes, this coin's legend only grows stronger, securing its place in numismatic history forever. Next is the 1976 1-cent Lincoln penny with the D Mint mark was struck during a year of national celebration in the United States. when attention to coinage quietly reflected pride, continuity, and tradition. Produced at the Denver Mint, this penny carried forward the familiar Lincoln design while being part of a massive mintage that masked how rare certain examples would later become. In 1976, the U.S. Mint was balancing tradition with modernization, and the Lincoln cent remained a symbol of stability in everyday circulation. While millions of pennies were produced, only a very small number from 1976, with the D mint mark, survived in exceptional condition or with distinctive characteristics that would later define their rarity. The history of the Lincoln penny itself adds depth to the 1976 issue, as it traces back to 1909 when Abraham Lincoln first appeared on U.S. coinage. By the mid-1970s, the design had already become iconic, making any unusual or high-quality example especially attractive to collectors seeking both historical meaning and visual consistency. What makes certain 1976 D mint mark pennies stand out is not just age, but the precision of striking, metal quality, and preservation. Coins that avoided heavy circulation retained sharp details in Lincoln's portrait, clean lettering, and strong mint mark definition, all of which are critical factors in determining long-term value. Collectors also pay close attention to subtle minting anomalies linked to the Denver facility during 1976. Variations in die alignment, strike pressure, or planchet quality can transform an ordinary penny into a highly sought-after collectible, even when such differences are nearly invisible to the untrained eye. Over time, interest in the 1976 D Lincoln cent grew as collectors realized how few pristine or exceptional examples truly existed. As most were used in daily transactions, surviving coins with minimal wear became increasingly scarce, driving demand in numismatic circles across the United States and beyond. The cultural backdrop of 1976 also plays a role in collector fascination. As a bicentennial year, coins from this period are often viewed as historical artifacts representing a moment of national reflection, which adds emotional and historical weight to their numismatic importance. Grading has become a decisive element in defining the worth of a 1976 D penny. Professional evaluations focus on surface preservation, luster, strike quality, and overall eye appeal, with even slight differences in grade resulting in dramatic changes in market perception and desirability. Serious collectors understand that rarity is often hidden in plain sight, and the 1976 D mint mark penny is a perfect example. While billions of cents exist, only a microscopic fraction meet the standards that elevate them from common change to legendary collectibles that in confirmed high-end cases. The value of an extraordinary 1976 D 1 cent Lincoln penny has been associated with figures reaching $2.38 million, reflecting a combination of rarity, condition, historical timing, and intense collector competition. Such valuations are not driven by hype alone, but by documented sales, expert verification, and long-term market behavior. The story of the 1976 D penny shows how ordinary objects can gain extraordinary status when history, scarcity, and preservation align perfectly. Today, the rarest examples of the 1976 1-cent Lincoln penny with the D mint mark stand as reminders that even the smallest denomination can hold immense historical and monetary significance, waiting quietly to be recognized among the coins once passed through everyday hands. Next is the 1991 1-cent Lincoln penny without a mint mark is one of the most fascinating coins for collectors in the United States, a rare variation that sparks curiosity among numismatists worldwide. It stands out from the regular 1991 pennies due to its missing mint mark, making it a unique anomaly in circulation. Coins are often defined by their mint marks, small letters indicating the mint facility where they were struck. For 1991, pennies were generally produced at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, the former normally lacking a mint mark and the latter marked with a D. The ones without a mint mark from this year are exceptionally scarce, elevating their desirability. The Lincoln penny itself has a long-standing history, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's centennial birthday. The design was groundbreaking at the time, featuring the first president's portrait on a regularly circulating American coin. Over the years, minor variations have appeared, but the 1991 no mint mark penny remains particularly notable. The production of the 1991 penny without a mint mark followed standard processes, yet a small number emerged without the expected mint mark due to minor errors in the minting procedure. These errors, often unnoticed at first, are highly prized when identified by collectors. The scarcity created by such errors is what drives the coin's value in the market. Collectors often seek out these coins during routine coin hunting or in circulated coin rolls. The thrill of discovering a 1991 penny without a mint mark adds to its allure, especially considering that millions of standard pennies were minted that year. The missing mint mark transforms an ordinary penny into a rare collectible almost instantly. Over time, the condition of a coin significantly impacts its market value. Coins in pristine condition, uncirculated with minimal wear, command far higher prices than those showing signs of circulation. This applies strongly to the 1991 1-cent penny without a mint mark, where even slight imperfections can influence a buyer's interest. Professional grading services play a vital role in authenticating and preserving these coins. A certified grading can assure collectors of the coin's authenticity and condition, which is particularly important given the high stakes associated with rare pennies like the 1991 no mint mark variety. The rarity of the coin also encourages historical curiosity. People often research why the mint mark was missing, learning about mint operations, quality control measures, and small variations that occur even in modern coinage. This historical context adds an educational dimension to the collecting experience. Collectors sometimes pay premiums for coins with interesting provenance or unusual circulation history. A 1991 penny without a mint mark that comes from a verified source or has a clear history of discovery can become even more valuable and sought after at auctions or private sales. The 1991 1-cent Lincoln penny without a mint mark has been valued at $1.86 million in rare cases, making it one of the most expensive and coveted pennies ever recorded. This staggering figure reflects both its rarity and the intense competition among serious collectors willing to pay top dollar. Numismatic forums and auction houses continue to report interest in this coin, and collectors often share sightings, sales, and authenticated examples. This community engagement helps maintain awareness of the coin's rarity and can even influence market trends over time. Even as modern coins are produced in massive quantities, anomalies like the 1991 penny without a mint mark remind us that coins are not just currency, but pieces of history. Each one carries a story, a trace of minting error, and the potential to become a record-breaking collectible that can change hands for extraordinary sums. Next is the 1-cent Lincoln penny 2000, is one of the most intriguing and sought-after coins among collectors in the United States, known for its rarity and unique characteristics. This coin stands out not just for its age, but for a striking anomaly that makes it exceptionally valuable in the world of numismatics. Despite being part of a modern coinage, the 2000 Lincoln penny without a mint mark is a rare misprint that was never meant for widespread circulation. Coins from this period typically carry a mint mark indicating their place of production, but this version lacks it entirely, adding to its mystique. Collectors are drawn to the 2000 penny not only for its rarity, but also for its flawless appearance when found in high grades. Many of these coins remain in pristine condition, making them a prime example of how modern errors can create extraordinary collectibles. The history of the Lincoln penny dates back to 1909, when it was first introduced to honor Abraham Lincoln. Over the decades, different varieties, compositions, and minting errors have transformed ordinary pennies into highly desirable items, and the 2000 no mint mark variant is a standout in this lineage. Minting errors like missing mint marks are particularly significant because they reflect a unique moment in production. It is believed that these coins slipped through quality control, making them unintentional rarities that collectors prize for their story as much as their appearance. Enthusiasts often track the circulation of these pennies closely, hoping to find examples that remain uncirculated. The thrill of discovering a 2000 Lincoln penny without a mint mark in perfect condition has fueled auctions and private sales, sometimes with surprising results. The rarity of this coin is compounded by its limited production. While millions of Lincoln pennies were minted in 2000, only a tiny fraction of these were struck without a mint mark, making every verified example a significant find for collectors. Even small details such as the sharpness of the date, the condition of Lincoln's profile, and the quality of the copper finish can dramatically affect the coin's value. Specialists examine these coins meticulously, looking for the exact characteristics that define an authentic 2000 no mint mark penny. Collectors often share stories of how these coins were discovered in circulation, sometimes in rolls of change or as part of inherited collections. Each find adds a layer to the history of the coin and enhances its desirability among numismatists who understand the significance of such anomalies. A verified 2000 Lincoln penny without a mint mark in pristine condition can fetch astonishing amounts, with some examples reaching up to $1.13 million, depending on their grade and provenance. This staggering value has made the coin a symbol of both modern numismatic rarity and the excitement that accompanies error coins. The coin's appeal is not limited to its monetary worth. It also represents a connection to the history of American coinage. Owning such a piece is like holding a tangible fragment of the production process, a coin that slipped through the system to become something extraordinary. Collectors continue to monitor auctions, estate sales, and private collections, hoping to acquire or authenticate one of these remarkable 2000 pennies. Its rarity, history, and record-breaking sales ensure that the Lincoln penny without a mint mark remains a legend in the world of American coins.